What's something someone did that instantly made you lose your crush on them? Say she wanted to ride backdoor. I was totally down until she said she wanted to poop while doing it and have it squeeze around my dong. Nope, the frick out. I hope she found someone that got excited. Imagine the creative crap they'd do together. She liked to talk about herself. I am more of a listener, so it was fine. During one such self-praise session at our date she was like, I don't know why but everyone just keeps ending up having a crush on me. Some even think they're in love. I thought to myself, can I listen to nonsense like this all my life? Voice inside my head said, you don't even tolerate crap that's half this crazy from your family. Are you really asking the question? She had been searching for a job for over 2 months while I helped support them. Then she turned down a job offer because she felt her interviewer was rude to her because she was late to the interview. The most surprising thing about this is the fact that they offered her a job after she was late to the interview. She spoke badly of someone because she saw them with crutches after spraining their ankle falling on a trampoline, claiming that they just wanted attention. Be exceptionally condescending when I voiced some personal concerns. Had the same thing in a relationship. I was once belittled because I didn't kill a spider that was outside, nowhere near any living quarters. It was all because I refused to do something she commanded. Yes, that is the correct word. That was when I realized I was in an abusive relationship and ended it shortly after. He'd insult things I liked and tell me how much better his opinion was, constantly. I had this experience once as well. Every time I mentioned how I loved a song that came on the radio, he'd turn the volume down. Every time I mentioned I like anything, he'd insult it. I turned him down for physical intimacy. Guess who got the insults then? Checked his social media and he had an album specifically meant for posting photos of hot bikini models, which was just weird. Then I started reading his bio and comments and other stuff and the way he wrote online came off like a 12-year-old boy and he used a lot of emoticons. Instantly killed it and I didn't see him the same way after that. We finally went out on a date and I spent most of the time at the restaurant by myself while he stayed in the bathroom feeling like crap because unbeknownst to me at the time, he was having withdrawals from Oxy. I guess someone brought him some or something because he came back after a long time feeling great. He invited me back to his place and stupid me agreed. After a failure of a date, he attempted to make out with me and climbed on top of me. I was so not into it and started telling him no and push him off but he fought me and kept angrily telling me, come on, I've been waiting for this. Eventually, I started shouting no even louder and he gave up and let me go. He was pee and I grabbed my crap and left. Nice job sticking your ground. She was super serious about astrology, so did what every horoscope told her, and it was mind-numbing. My husband's ex-GF dumped him because her horoscope said it wasn't meant to be. I'm so thankful. 12 wonderful years and she messages him every once in a while in a sea of regret. There was this woman I thought I got along with really well. One day she gives me her number and asks me out that weekend. I call her later and she doesn't answer the phone or text but sees me a couple days later and says she doesn't check her phone much. I confirm we still have plans and she says yes. That day I show up to meet her. She doesn't show. I call and she doesn't answer. I see her the next day and she apologizes and makes plans again a few days later. I call again before we're supposed to meet up, but this time from my other phone, which was a number she didn't know. She answers. I say who it is and she hangs up on me. I have scars on my legs from an autoimmune disease. My crush saw them on the first hot day of the year. He had transferred in the fall, and he, literally, leapt 4 seats back from me in disgust. All feelings gone. Never spoke to him again. What a weird coincidence. I have a couple of scars because I'm not autoimmune. I got hit by a book. Whenever he talked to me it was only about himself and how great he is. Better than any other boys. He is different from other boys. When they're a self-proclaimed butthole and they have to prove how much of an butthole they are. Freaking heck. This was my ex. Man, I'm not a nice guy. People have fricked me around and I'll frick them right back, yet every time he drank he'd have a breakdown about how nobody respected him and treated him right. My crush knew I was attracted to her, but she made fun of my little sister, different last name, in front of me and then looked to me in approval. Only I make fun of my little sister. Spoke in needlessly graphic terms about making love to his girlfriend. It was just an 18-yo high on first time bragging about lovemaking, so I hope he doesn't do it anymore, but it was an instant crush killer regardless. Anyway, that was shortly after he moved to Scotland. He turned into kind of a prick there tbh. I mean, speaking for most people from Scotland, we're all pricks. I met a girl and crushed hard on her and eventually we became friends and hung out. One day she said that children with autism were God's punishment for immoral parents. I told her I had Asperger's syndrome, walked away, and never spoke to her again. One day we were at a party just sitting there with a large group of people. He points to another group nearby and makes fun of them. Why? Because they were in line to get some food. WTF is wrong with wanting to eat? I was in year 3, he was in year 6. He said a bad word and 7-year-old me never forgave him. My crush disappeared instantly. For your information, the word was crap. That'll do it. She had her dog put down before leaving for college because she didn't believe anybody would take as good of care of him as she did. It was an English sheepdog. She didn't see the irony in what she did. Of course, it was probably hard for her to understand me as I was pretty much screaming in her face. Internal fury of 1,000 stars. First text conversation was full of I'm so random humor. It went sorta like this. Her. Hey me. Hey what's up? Her. I'm just eating juicy bread with my friend. Me. What is juicy bread? Her. Yeah, it's this type of bread you eat behind a dumpster in the apocalypse. Me. I see. Her. But you have to eat it before the cowboy rides up on his unicorn. I think I broke my teeth from clenching my jaw on that one. I remember being this person back from 6th 8th grade. Cringe. Talking crap about using coupons. This guy was very cute and quite the charmer, until he started talking about how only poor people use coupons and obviously you shouldn't be spending money on going out to eat if you have to use a coupon. I could be Bill Gates and I am still going to go for the buy one get one free special. Hey, so there's this guy I like and I need your help. This was like 20 years ago. We were talking provocatively on the phone, maybe pre-phone dirty talk leading up to the act. I asked her where she was going to touch herself. She replied, my cooter, one of the fastest losses of a boner up to that point in my life. I prefer the term adult box. Them. Hey, lem show you this song I think you'll like. Me. Goes to pull out headphones. Them. Plays entirety of song on speaker at a loud volume while we are on a public bus. This is my own personal hack. Told me I was the cute one in my friend group. His friend apparently agreed, and they snickered about my very sweet friends who were standing in line. Never had my opinion of someone drop so low so fast. Those girls were awesome. That guy and his friend were garbage, and I told them exactly that. Went to the movie without him, told my friends he had to be somewhere else, which was true. He had to be away from us. Frick that noise. You're a great friend. He asked if my family had looked into essential oils and vitamins to cure my dad's stage IV cancer. He texted me at all hours of the day about his crippling anxiety and other girls. He hardly let me get a word in. Had a pretty solid crush on a co-worker at a grocery store. She even had a friend ask if I was single, so I asked her out for dinner. She said yes and I was stoked. Then she wasn't at work for a week. Whatever. Figured it was a vacation or something. Turns out she got suspended for calling a co-worker a dirty Mexican. That made me lose interest pretty fast. Had a huge crush on a boy in 1st grade. Our teacher asked him what the answer was to a math problem, to which he replied to her by yelling in a really stupid voice, donkey. I was so disgusted I went home and complained to my whole family. Please tell me he said it like Shrek. When you treat animals or people like complete crap, it's over in my book. Yep, these are the first 2 things I thought of too. Started arguing in favor of FGM. I mean, wow, was that a fast crush kill? Complete beta waitstaff and wanted to no-tip them. We went to college in a Bible Belt town. There was a student group called Christ Ambassadors whose members wore matching shirts on Wednesdays. They'd hand out mini Bibles and tell you you're going to heck. He was beautiful, but one Wednesday, He walked into class wearing a goddamn Christ Ambassador t-shirt and my heart broke. Neat story. A friend of mine ended up marrying him and he beat the crap out of her, so that also helped to quell the crush. She got out and is safe now BTW. Boy, that escalated quickly. You're lucky you noped out of there as early as you did. Also, username checks out. She told someone on stage during a live theater event to speak up. Girl, I was having a summer fling with, beat her dog with a closed fist because that's how you discipline an animal. Immediately went from thinking wow I could see this turning into something serious to wow I need to get the frick away from this woman. Huge crushing on this one girl in my college English class. She was a bit religious but whatever, didn't talk about it too much. We talked all the time, did a few projects together, found out she wasn't dating this one guy anymore, looked up her Facebook, found her posts about using pig fat covered bullets to shoot Muslims in Iraq and posts about how school shootings are because we don't allow God in schools. Few more scrolls got to some homophobic stuff. Major turn off and disappointment. Dude said something like, I can't be just friends with girls, they all have crushes on me. Stopped crushing on him out of spite. A guy did this exact thing to me, only I understood the meaning. He was trying to push me away, and it worked. Back when I was 18-19 I had a huge crush on a girl in my circle of friends. She was what I would call a free spirit, pro-earth, anti-government, peace-loving, pretty much a hippie. I had a very conservative religious upbringing, so looking back I am sure it was her exotic personality that I was attracted to. One day our group of friends meets up for lunch. We finish and as I'm walking back to my car I look back and I see her and she's got her unfinished drink in her hand. I watched her scan the parking lot for a garbage can, doesn't find one, then just sets the drink down in the parking lot and drives away. I freaking hate people who litter, so I go pick up her drink, throw it away myself. I realized that day her personality is as fake as my leather jacket I thought made me cool. TLDR, the bee littered. Frick people who litter. He brought his girlfriend to my birthday party. I had no idea she existed until they showed up at the party and she was introduced as my girlfriend E. He was driving and threw a bottle out his window and said frick the environment. Hard pass. Bad breath. Took me out at the knees in a non-positive way. I mentioned I was excited to see Corpse Bride since back then I was a huge fan of Tim Burton and stop motion animation. He went on a rant on how the movie was absolutely disgusting, promoted necrophilia, and if he actually gets together with that thing I'll have lost all faith in humanity. Like okay, zombie chicks squick you out and you don't want to watch it, that's fine. No reason to act like people who like the movie are going to grave rob and frit corpses. Yeah, I realize Corpse Bride is probably an odd movie to get defensive of and I'll be the first to admit it's not something most audiences would find amazing. It was more the implication that I wanted to bang a corpse because I found the premise enjoyable that made me nope out of that crush. He interrupted something I was saying during a perfectly lovely date because he had to tell me something serious. I was all, of course, go ahead. That something serious turned out to be a monologue about his personal relationship with Jesus Christ. I interrupted him at about the 10-minute mark and let him know that we should just end things between us because we were incompatible. His whole face changed into something terrifying and he decided to spend the next half hour trying to save my soul from damnation. The night ended with me literally running down the street while he screamed about the power of Christ's everlasting love. We're both dudes, BTW, and we'd already had a physical relationship. Bought tickets with me for a concert and then didn't talk to me until the day of the concert, after it started, asking if I went. I was out with my crush and ran into an old friend from high school who was openly gay and wore pretty feminine clothing. I don't remember what exactly led to this, but crush said, I take it your friend is gay. I don't like that. Didn't talk to him again after that day. Lol, at least he straight up told you so that you could know and nope out quicker. When I was 9 or 10 I had a huge crush on a boy in my class. Played violin together. He gave me chocolate. Very romantic for 9-year-olds. Then he peeked into the girls' changing room. Until this day I am still very disappointed. You have been visited by the wealth rat. Subscribe in 12 seconds and he will share his wealth with you. Thanks for watching. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.